Hi and welcome everybody. My name is Cristina Williams and it's a real pleasure to be sharing this information with you. Tonight's presentation is called Discover a Seer, and there's a number of reasons why you might be connected here this evening. There's a number of reasons why you may have decided to come along and have a listen. And those reasons can vary. You might have been invited because you're struggling with a situation with your health. Maybe there is something that you really has been bothering you for a long time, or maybe it's even more concerning than that. Maybe it's even a life-threatening situation. So you might be here because of your health. You might be here because you're in perfectly good health today and you want to keep it that way. So you might be here because you are looking at your long-term prevention strategy. You might be here because you're an athlete wanting to get more out of your body and what your body can do. You might be here because you're a health practitioner looking for better ways to impact the health of your patients and clients and have better outcomes. You might be here because you're an entrepreneur, a visionary, and you're interested in pioneering this technology. Now, whatever those reasons are, I'm going to go through a number of things this evening, and this is what they are. And hopefully I'll be able to cater to every one of you in those needs that you might have. Okay, here we go. So let me just get out of this one. All right, fantastic. So share screen. So what we'll be actually covering this evening is exactly what is a seer. So what is this company you've been invited to explore? How is this company and this technology changing lives? And most importantly for you, how can it impact your life? Now, you may never have heard of the word a seer, but I'd like to introduce you not just to this company, but also to our team. When I first came across this technology, when I first met this great company, was around 3 years ago, maybe a little bit more. At the time, I was a single mum with 4 boys here at home. I had a marketing company. I was really struggling to figure out, what I was going to do for income, what I was going to do to make an impact in my life. I really felt that there was more that I could do, more that I could give. But I was still just hamster on the wheel, plodding along, getting through my business. Along came a dear friend of mine. His name is Doyle. Some of you may know him. You may have heard of him. Very successful Sydney businessman who fell sick. He went through a life-threatening condition, had all the treatment that doctors recommended, but unfortunately in his case, it wasn't enough. And doctors told him 2 years after his treatment that he could not be saved. That was when he started looking for a way through. And that's how a seer came into our lives. I remember hearing about this technology and being incredibly skeptical at the beginning. I looked into the science, I looked into the studies, I looked into the testimonies, and quite frankly, I thought to myself, if what they're saying is real, this legitimately is the greatest breakthrough I may see in my lifetime. And so it has been. Now, my invitation to you tonight is to just dip your toes in. I'm not going to go for a very long time, but what I want to do is just give you an introduction. From here, please put your hand up and request more studies if you need to. Request testimonies. There are thousands of them. Request a longer video about the business opportunity. Today is an introduction, and I'm really hoping that, like my friend Dan, who was able to recover his health as a result of this introduction, and like our own family, where it has changed completely our finances, and it's given us the opportunity to live well and to live with choices, I hope tonight is a turning point for you. Okay, so what is a seer? Basically, we're talking about a technology that comes in a liquid form and in a gel form. It is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. It is heavily patented and unique. It's a new category of science. Nobel Prize winning research behind the discovery of the molecule in here. It has no toxicity at all because it is from the body, and we are merely returning to the body what it already uses. And it is being considered as the greatest medical breakthrough of our time. As I mentioned, it seemed like really big words to me, but we have validation behind that statement and you can go and also talk to the people already using this technology for you to be able to get a sense of just how powerful it is. So what is it exactly? What are these redox signaling molecules that are contained inside these two products? Well, let's firstly explore quickly what redox molecules are not. They don't fall into any of these categories. They're not vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, juices, alkaline waters. These molecules are incredibly powerful in a completely new category of their own. If we were building a house, I would say to you, the things you see on this list here are like the bricks and mortar, the materials that you need to build a house. Redox signaling molecules are like the workforce, the labor that shows up to utilize all those materials. Now, it is one of the biggest things that you and I need to do is basically open up our minds to a completely new category creator. You know, I remember when credit cards were first introduced, actually, or when ATMs were first introduced, we can go pull money out of a hole. I remember my parents being very distrustful of even the, you know, going to a teller or using a credit card. They thought someone's going to steal their money, or, you know, maybe it's not going to add it all up correctly. And now, of course, you know, you can barely operate without a credit card. Advances happen in every single category, in every single market space, and it takes some adjustment. So if your brain is wrestling a little bit with this, or if you're a little bit skeptical, that's just part of progress. That's part of change. My invitation to you is to be one of the people that moves towards this quickly and not one of the late adopters. Okay, so what is a redox signaling molecule exactly? Let me explain it in 5 very simple points. If you're a biochemist, this will make you very frustrated because you'll know it's a lot more complicated than this. And if you want to, you can watch hours and hours of webinars by scientists, by doctors explaining this process in a lot more detail. But for the rest of us mortals, here it is in its simplest form. We are all made of cells. Not all cells are healthy. Our body is constantly in a state of repair, protection, destruction, and replacement. Our body's doing this all the time. You only have to look at the skin. We know it turns over every 28 days. You only have to look at, for example, when you cut yourself, let's say you cut yourself shaving, you can see it healing. Well, this process is happening constantly. It's happening in your gut. It's happening in your bones, all over your body. We already knew that. What we didn't know is how this process was being triggered and orchestrated. In the late 90s, 3 gentlemen, 3 scientists from America and Italy came together and were instrumental in putting forward some research that won actually 2 Nobel Prizes, identifying the reason we heal. Okay, in its most simplistic form, this is what it is. These molecules, these redox signaling molecules, are in charge. They are the biological messaging system that triggers all those processes we just spoke about. Cell respiration, cell regeneration, cell destruction. These are actually just chemical reactions happening in your body, and those chemical reactions happen as a result of these groups of molecules. Since we found this out, it has unleashed a flurry of research. Now, you only need to go on PubMed and look up redox and whatever interests you, neurodegenerative conditions, inflammatory conditions, diabetes, cancer. I'm not saying this product is a cure for any of those things. I really need to stress that. But what I am saying is that this is not a field that is exclusive to our company. This is a broad field of medicine. It's a broad field of science that is very, very interesting as the future of many possibilities for a number of conditions, really, really looking at how we trigger the body's healing potential in its most truest sense. So they're studying redox for the last 20 years heavily. I mean, you don't invest millions of dollars and many years of research into a field unless you think something important is going to come from it. And that is exactly what the ASEA company has done. They looked at this information, and they also looked at a number of other really important facts. Our redox levels are declining, guys. So when you're born, you heal very quickly. It's not a mystery, right? And then your grandma is healing a lot more slowly than your child. It just is the way that life is. So the natural aging process depletes our redox levels. It's like the repair starts to happen less and less in our body, and things start to fall apart. Sounds awful, but you can definitely feel it. I turned 40 last year, and right now I am at the midway point of my redox levels. And it's true, I can definitely feel changes in my body. Now, this natural decline is being accelerated as a result of the toxic environment that we live in. I hope this isn't news to you, but we live in a really toxic environment. And it's not just what you eat and what you drink. You might say, hey, I eat a very clean diet, or I grow all my own veggies. That's wonderful, but you still don't live in a bubble. It's the food at the restaurant. It's the cleaning products. It's the shampoo. It's what they use at the beauty salon on your skin. Honestly, we are completely surrounded by a lot of toxicity, bacteria, viruses, and it is depleting our resources. So as a response, the ASEA company took this information. We're made of cells. They're not all healthy. Redox molecules repair us. We don't have enough. And the fifth point, they decided to make more. As an answer to this crisis, now this company has been the first and only in the world to allow us to supplement in our redox signaling molecules. When I kind of grasped that, and when I delved into it and looked at the science, honestly, I was just bursting with excitement, because I really realized that this had massive applications in sports, in beauty, in longevity, in disease treatment and disease prevention. This had massive applications globally, but this also had massive applications for me and my family and my children. Why? Because now for the first time, we can get deep into the root cause of the issues. We can get down to the cell where things arise, where problems start to develop, and we can deal with problems properly. Most of what you're taking in your medicine cupboard right now is dealing with symptoms. You know, I've just been traveling and we've caught a couple of funny bugs whilst being away. And you go to the chemist, they don't tell you how to fix stuff. You go to the doctor, they don't necessarily go and repair the problem. They basically help you managing symptoms through prescription drugs. That is the model. And I'm not saying there's anything totally wrong with it. There are times when I'm very, very glad for that nasal spray, truly. There are times when you need those antibiotics, perhaps. But we can't just live with this idea of, hey, the fire's not really happening. If there's a fire burning in your body, you need to put it out, or it will continue to grow. And that is what ASEA Redox allows us to do. We get to the source of the issue. Now, round about this time, if you're anything like me and my brain's going, you know, I'm very curious, I'm asking myself a couple of questions. How do they know there's really redox signaling molecules in those products? I mean, I can look up redox signaling. I can definitely see the research. I can tell these molecules are real, they're important. How can they prove there's really redox in these products? Well, fortunately, we rely on independent bioanalysis to do that, to verify to the marketplace that there's really redox signaling molecules right here in a drink version and in a concentrated gel. We have independent laboratories test our products for safety. We've always had 5 stars. We are Fda registered. We cannot be FDA approved because we're not a drug. There is no lethal limit, so we don't even need to attempt to qualify for that. We tick all the boxes that this product needs to tick. We've also had independent studies done on this technology by reputable third-party laboratories that show you a number of amazing things, such as drinking ASEA Redox will trigger your genes to work better, to express themselves better, and improve your immune system, regulate your inflammatory response, improve your cardiovascular health, gut health, your hormonal balance. You'll see increases to your cell communication. It will protect you against free radical damage. Hello, who wants that? That's aging, really. It kills 100% of the viruses and bacteria it comes into contact with. And I don't need to highlight how important it is to have our immune system strong right now. It has been proven to be completely safe, has no toxicity. It boosts our antioxidant efficiency 500 to 800% in just 72 hours. Do you know what an antioxidant is? An antioxidant is the guy that goes around inside your body and repairs cells. So how would you like to have that going on another 500 to 800% more than it's happening now? Improves athletic performance. If you're an athlete, would you like more endurance, more power output? Would you like your lungs and your heart capacity to be bigger? Would you like to recover faster? Could you do with more circulation? How about burning of fat fuels? These are all things that we know from our studies now. Do we want more studies? Yes. Do we need them? No. We already know that this product is incredible, but we are the leaders in redox research. Our company is setting up the world's very first redox research and development facility to further understand what this breakthrough can do. So sit tight, because in the next 10 years, everything that we will know about this product will not fit on one page. But already when I look at that list, my family is worth it. I know I need to take it. Now, if you are not someone who likes to delve into the studies and you just need a much simpler, straightforward, visual example of what it's doing, scroll through the testimonies and check out also testimonies of animals and of plants, because there's no placebo effect. You can very clearly see the difference right here of what a SIA does to biological matter as opposed to just regular water and even water with salt. So do your own experiment, do your own research. This one, the gel, is very easy to test. There are some tests that you can do with this product by applying it 3 times in 5 minutes to any area where you have pain. But also you can do your own test with this product in 28 days. Look at what it's been shown to do. I'm not going to read through it all, but basically it's going to make you look younger. And it's going to do that without toxicity. I'm in airports all the time, and I always joke that I go through and play with all the different beauty products to try and, compare what's in them. And I'm just amazed. It never stops amazing me that you can buy a tiny little eye cream and it's got something like 78 different chemical ingredients to it. I love that our product here contains 4 ingredients and they are all safe. They are in our bodies. Okay, so nothing speaks better than actual results. Let's have a look at this. Check out those images. I'll leave you to explore these a lot more slowly if you want to. We have Facebook pages that show literally thousands of testimonies. And you can go and have a look at people just like you and me. Ask somebody to join you to the Facebook page and Google things that are of interest. If you like to see the impact on eyes, on digestion, on nerve pain, put in those keywords and search. There are people literally thousands of them sharing their testimonies. This one here is actually my mum. You can see very clearly in less than 28 days the change in her skin, not just in the lines, but also in the pigmentation. I love what this product is doing on the outside, but it is so awesome to compare what it's doing on the inside. Well, you can see right here, this fellow is a doctor, I believe, and he used the product on one side of his face. It's very clear that he used it on the left. And for 28 days, he didn't do anything on the right. You can do this experiment if you want. I don't recommend it because I think you want to keep, it'll be a struggle to catch up later on. But for me, when I look at what I want going on the inside of my body, I definitely vote for regeneration. I want my cells to keep healthy. Okay, so it's not just for the face. You can use this, newsflash, you have skin everywhere. You can use this on your arms, on your legs. You can use it on cellulite. We use it on burns. We use it on scratches, on bite marks. People use it on all sorts of things. You can see here basically what it's going to be doing. It's going to be helping your body regenerate itself, because this is the molecule that we have in our youth when our healing processes are turning over a lot faster. Now you can see here, this is not overnight. This is 6 months later. We have to be patient, not with the product. We have to be patient with our bodies, because when we are actually triggering real change, it's our bodies that are going to need time. You cannot undo a problem that took years to create in just a couple of weeks. Now, what can I say? I mean, lives are getting transformed by this technology. And yes, the testimonies are so impactful, But I promise you that when you start working with this technology, or even just utilizing in your family, when you are the person that gets to pass this gift on to other people, that's when it gets really, really emotional and exciting. Can you imagine how grateful and excited this lovely lady is to the person who spoke up and shared this with her? And I'll talk a little bit later about maybe participating with helping us get this technology to more and more people. The changes happening around the world are exciting. It's not just in illness. It is also for athletes. We have Olympic athletes using this product. We have children using this product. This product is for everyone. Why? Because everyone is made of cells. Excuse me. As some of you know, I have been doing presentations this week all day and all night, and my voice is just about gone. But we are here for just another 5 minutes, so bear with me. Because for me, this is probably the most important part of this presentation. How can we reach more people? Take a deep breath for a moment and appreciate that if what I'm saying is true, and I'm confident that you can go dig in and validate it, if what I'm saying is true, it really is an important breakthrough for humanity, and more people need to know about it. When this product was first achieved, when this breakthrough was first established in a laboratory in Utah by the work of Dr. Gary Samuelson and his team at ASEA headquarters, they were approached by a pharmaceutical company, a large pharmaceutical company, who made an incredible offer. Generational wealth, many, many millions of dollars were put on the table, not to buy the product, but to be able to take the product and suppress it. They wanted the clinical trials shut down. They wanted distribution to be shut down. They wanted the people who had created this product to bury it. Now, you may not believe that, but I know the people who were part of that conversation, and that is what they have shared. Now, imagine, what would you do if you've got many, many millions of dollars on the table, and you know that you, your family, and generations to come will be well cared for? Would you take that deal, or would you risk doing something else, not knowing if it was going to work? Would you walk away from that kind of money just in case you could do more good for the world? For me, that's the definition of integrity, and that's why I chose to work with this company. They declined that offer, and they went back to the drawing board and said, we cannot risk losing this advancement for humanity. How else can we get it to market? They did a lot of studies and realized that the best way was word of mouth, because people who were using the product were talking about it. Everyone was talking about it. They had something like 40 families to begin with, and a few months later, those families had sent the product to another 120 families around the world. Very quickly, they realized that they had to allow the market to share this with the market. Because what do you do when you know something is good? What do you do when something has changed and transformed your life? You talk about it. You share it with other people. And that is certainly what we started to do when we found out what this product had done for Danny. My friend Danny Doyle would not be here without ASEA, and so we continued to share it. And before long, we realized that we had a global business. And that's literally how it happened. ASEA rewards us for sharing this technology. Instead of going through the pharmaceutical avenue, which they did not need to do because it's not a pharmaceutical product, they decided to go via the direct sales model, which means that anybody, even a single mom with 4 kids sitting in her house with no money and no education and no clue, could go out and share this technology with people around the world. And I am so grateful, because really from this living room right here, I've been able to connect with friends in America, friends in Europe, friends in Asia. Anybody, you can reach out to anybody in any of these open markets and change lives. And by doing so, every single week, this incredible company is going to share 50% of their profits with us. Now, that is a genius way to bring a technology to market. It's clearly working, because in a very short period of time, we have reached masses, thousands and thousands of people around the world. We have now scaled up to $150 million in sales per year and growing. figures for last year haven't been released yet, but I'm certain they exceeded that because we've absolutely smashed every single growth marker. We believe that in the next 3 to 5 years, this company will exceed the $1 billion per year turnover. And why does that matter? Because you could be part of that. And behind every dollar growth that this company achieves are lives that are being transformed. And you may have different reasons why you want to be part of a breakthrough. Maybe you love the health industry, but you know it's deeply saturated and there's products on products and products, and you want to distribute something that is unique. Maybe you want to distribute a product that is as transformational as iPhone was to the communication industry. Maybe you want to be part of a big market shift. Maybe you just want to change your family's life. Maybe you're struggling with a health condition and you want to start there. It really doesn't matter. What matters to me right now is what is a reason for you. Do you have a reason to engage? For me, the reasons to engage were the following. The chance to be part of bringing a genuine breakthrough to market. I wanted to work with a technology that had zero competition. Why? Because I didn't want to be waving a super juice around and trying to explain constantly why it was better than the other 500 amazing juices or protein powders on the shelf. I didn't want to take any risks. At this point in my life, I had my children to think of. I had no money, so I appreciated the fact that this was a $40 entry in order to be able to open my associate account. I love that it wasn't looking for a minority. Every single person in the world that I could talk to needs this product. It's a simple product range, which isn't going to take me 5 million years to learn because it's really all comes down to a drink and a gel. A strong compensation plan. I was able to sit down with the leaders, as you can as well, and look through the figures and really understand what's on the table here very transparently. It is the right moment in the market. We have a global health crisis, and I'm not just talking about the coronavirus. There is a global health crisis. There are more people every single day getting diagnosed with life-threatening conditions, and for our children, it's not looking any better. So you can make a difference bringing a product to market that has already been tested for the last 10 years, but it is pre-momentum. You walk out on the street and hardly anybody has heard about this. That is an entrepreneur's dream, which you can develop from your own home. I really appreciated the opportunity to go and have a look at what I wanted to do with my life. I loved the chance. I jumped on this like a kid at Christmas with the chance to go and literally dial in my income. You can sit down with somebody and strategize and say, okay, this is what I need to earn. I need to earn $12,000 a month to replace my income, or I need more in order to keep the house, or I would like another $500 a month in order to cover my debt. It really doesn't matter. The range is big. We have people in this team making $50 a month. We have people in this team making $50,000 a month. All we are doing is moving forward together. And you have the chance to be part of something big. No one's going to force you. Really, it's a smorgasbord. You here, from this moment forward, have seen some preliminary information, and I would encourage you to do one of these things. You may be straight away ready to open your account. Get me started. I want to try this product. I want to experience it for myself. As I mentioned, it's $40 to get started. It's around 60 here in Australia, equivalent in different markets. So you might be ready to go. That's just like opening a Netflix account or an account with iTunes. It allows you now to order, okay? And it also allows you to share this technology if you choose to. I would then encourage you to get into the product. There is nothing like personal experience, and guess what? Your cells need this. Your family need this. And next, share it. Because even if this is not something that you see as a potential business opportunity for you, I bet you there are people in your circle that need this information. So connect them with whoever has connected you. Don't be somebody that doesn't pay this forward. You literally can change someone's life. And for us, it really has changed our life. I like to finish with this, for us, it's personal. This is my husband and our 6 boys. And we couldn't have the life that we have if it wasn't for this incredible company that has returned to my family our health, but has also allowed us the chance to gain back our freedom. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all here about? So I'd like to hear, what is your story? what are you going to do with this information? Not making a decision, by the way, is making a decision. It's a decision to leave it behind. And I am grateful every single day that even though I've made so many mistakes in my life and so many things that I wish I had done better, this was a smart decision. This was one that I'm so grateful for every day, that I was able to take a leap of faith. And I invite you, not necessarily to take a leap of faith with me, but take a leap of faith into the information, dive in further, connect with the testimonies, try the product, at least take one step forward and see where this can take you. All right, thank you so much, guys. And I'm really, I'm here for a couple more minutes if you'd like to ask any questions. Let's see, audio is fine. Thanks, Jules. Does anybody have any questions at all? Well, it's a pleasure. There's a couple of thank yous there on the chat. So it is my pleasure to share. If you didn't relate to me, definitely plug into the other recordings. Every single presentation is recorded from these Wednesday Expert in the House. A lot of us present. We all have different styles. Whatever your style is, you can definitely do this. And every single Wednesday, there's going to be somebody here who has experience with this technology, with this company, and they'll be able to share from their perspective and invite you to discover a seer. So if you'd like to come back next Wednesday, invite more people, and I wish you a really good evening.